Hello friends, welcome to my channel Learning Electronics. In this video, we are going to study improved practical differentiator circuit. In the last class, we have already seen practical differentiator circuit and discussed the limitations of that circuit. In the improved practical differentiator, we overcome that limitations of the practical differentiator. So before starting the video, please subscribe my channel and also press the bell icon so that you can get more updated videos from here. Now let us quickly see the contents which we are going to discuss. First one is introduction and need of capacitance CF in the circuit. Second is expression of voltage gain. Then frequency response of improved practical differentiator. And last is applications of differentiator. This is the circuit diagram of the practical differentiator circuit. So to convert the basic or ideal differentiator circuit into practical differentiator circuit, we have connected a resistance R1 in series with this capacitance C1. So we have discussed some limitations of this practical differentiator circuit in the last class. The major limitations of this circuit is infinite bandwidth. Infinite bandwidth problem is solved in the improved practical differentiator circuit. So when we connect a capacitance CF in parallel with this resistance RF, then this circuit of practical differentiator will be converted into improved practical differentiator. This is the circuit diagram of the improved practical differentiator. Here we can see that one capacitance CF is used in parallel with this resistance RF, and the resistance R1 is connected in the series with the capacitance C1, and R compensation resistance is connected at the non-inverting terminal of the operational amplifier. This R compensation resistance is used to reduce the errors due to bias current in the operational amplifier. We have already discussed the need of this resistance R1 in the previous class when we have discussed the practical differentiator circuit. So the need of resistance R1 in the circuit is, first, it reduces and restricts the gain of the differentiator circuit to a finite value. Then it also solves the roll-off problem in the circuit, and it also avoids the input source loading. This capacitance CF is a small value capacitor, and the need of capacitance CF in the circuit is it prevents the differentiator to run into oscillations. That means it provides additional attenuation of the high frequency signals. Thus it prevents the differentiator to run into oscillations and become unstable. And second need of this capacitance CF is it reduces the bandwidth of the practical differentiator and makes it finite by introducing a pole in the transfer function. Next is expression for voltage gain for the improved practical differentiator. Here we have considered the combination of capacitance C1 and resistance R1 as impedance Z1, and parallel combination of resistance RF and capacitance CF as impedance ZF. And here we can see that we have applied the input voltage VIT at the inverting terminal of the operational amplifier. Therefore, this configuration of operational amplifier is inverting operational amplifier configuration. And in inverting operational amplifier configuration, we know that the overall gain of the circuit will be equal to minus of feedback impedance ZF divided by input impedance Z1. So to find out the overall gain of the improved practical differentiator, we have to find out the values for feedback impedance ZF and input side impedance Z1. The feedback impedance ZF will be equal to RF parallel with capacitive reactance XCF of capacitance CF. Since this XCF is equal to 1 upon SCF, this ZF will be equal to RF parallel with 1 upon SCF. Now we solve this equation, we'll get ZF is equal to RF into 1 upon SCF whole divided by RF plus 1 upon SCF. When we solve this equation, the feedback impedance ZF will be equal to RF whole divided by 1 plus S into RF into CF. Let this be equation number 1. Now we will find out the input side impedance Z1. Z1 is equal to capacitive reactance XC1 plus resistance R1. XC1 is equal to 1 upon SC1, then plus R1 will be equal to Z1. When we solve this, the impedance Z1 will be equal to 1 plus S into R1 C1 whole divided by SC1. Let this be equation number 2. Now we put equation number 1 and 2 in this equation. We'll get gain A is equal to minus of RF whole divided by 1 plus S into RF CF divided by Z1 is equal to 1 plus S into R1 C1 divided by SC1. So when we solve this equation, the gain A will be equal to minus of S into RF C1 whole divided by 1 plus S into R1 C1 into 1 plus S into RF into CF. So this is the overall gain of the improved practical differentiator given. Let this be equation number 3. Next one is frequency response of the improved practical differentiator. For this we will take this equation number 3. Here the gain A is equal to minus of S into RF C1 whole divided by 1 plus S into R1 C1 into 1 plus RF CF. So to find out the frequency response, first we will put S is equal to j omega in this equation. Then we will get gain A is equal to minus of j omega RF into C1 whole divided by 1 plus j omega R1 C1 into 1 plus j omega RF into CF. Now we will find out the magnitude of this equation. Magnitude of gain will be equal to omega RF into C1 whole divided by under root 1 plus omega R1 C1 whole square into under root 1 plus omega RF CF whole square. This is the equation of magnitude of gain we are getting. Now we will put omega is equal to 2 pi f in this equation. Then magnitude of gain A will be equal to 2 pi f RF into C1 whole divided by under root 1 plus 2 pi f R1 C1 whole square into 1 plus 2 pi f RF CF whole square. Now in this equation, when we put f is equal to 0, when f is equal to 0, the magnitude of gain of the improved practical differentiator will be equal to 0, and we defined one frequency f is equal to f1 is equal to 1 upon 2 pi r1 c1. So when we put f is equal to f1 is equal to 1 upon 2 pi r1 c1 in this equation, then we will get magnitude of gain is equal to rf upon r1 whole divided by under root 2 into 1 plus rf cf divided by r1 c1 whole square. Now at another frequency f is equal to f2, which is equal to 1 upon 2 pi RF into CF. The magnitude of gain is again equal to RF upon R1 whole divided by under root 2 into 1 plus RF CF divided by R1 C1 whole square. So this is the equation of gains we are getting at frequency f is equal to f1 and at frequency f is equal to f2. So these frequencies f1 and f2 are called as break frequency or corner frequencies of improved practical differentiator. So this improved practical differentiator has two break frequencies f1 and f2. Now when we draw the frequency response curve of the improved practical differentiator, it will look like this. So here we can see that at f is equal to 0, the magnitude of gain will be equal to 0, and at f is equal to f1, the magnitude of gain will be equal to rf upon r1 divided by under root 2 into 1 plus RF CF whole divided by R1 C1 whole square. And at another frequency f is equal to f2, same value we are getting. Now at both these corner frequencies, that is at f is equal to f1 and at f is equal to f2, the magnitude of gain will be same, that is RF upon R1 divided by 2 into 1 plus RFCF divided by R1C1 whole square. To find out the slope of this lines represented in this frequency response, we will take this equation of gain, which is equal to minus of S into RFC1 whole divided by 1 plus S into R1C1 into 1 plus S into RFCF. Now here from this equation we can see that there is one 0 at S is equal to 0. This is the 0, and the denominator of this transfer function is the poles of the transfer function. So this equation consists of two poles. One pole is at S is equal to minus of 1 upon R1C1, and another pole at S is equal to minus of 1 upon RF into CF. So because of this 0 at S is equal to 0, we have the slope is plus 20 dB per decade, and because of the pole we have minus 20 dB per decade slope. Because of another pole we have again the slope is minus 20 dB per decade. So here we can see that the initial slope of this curve will be plus 20 dB per decade, and here we can see that the slope here is 0 dB per decade. Why this is 0 dB per decade? Because when we add this initial slope plus 20 dB per decade with this minus 20 dB per decade, then we will get 0 dB per decade. And again when this 0 dB per decade added with this minus 20 dB per decade, we will get next slope is minus 20 dB per decade. So here one pole is added in the transfer function because of the capacitor CF. Okay. So when we use the capacitor CF in parallel with the resistance RF, then one pole is added at this frequency F is equal to F2, and because of this the bandwidth of the improved practical differentiator is limited to a finite value. These are the frequency response characteristics of improved practical differentiator. So from these characteristics we can say that these frequency response characteristics are same as frequency response of band pass filter. Here from frequency f is equal to 0 to f1 differentiating range is there, and from frequency f1 to f2 the circuit will act as buffer, and after frequency f is equal to f2 integrating range will be there. So when frequency is less than f1 frequency, then the circuit will act as differentiator, and when frequency is between f1 and f2 the circuit will act as buffer, and when frequency is greater than f2 the circuit will act as integrator. Since these characteristics is similar to the characteristics of band pass filter, the improved practical differentiator is a band pass filter which consists of high pass filter in the input side. This is high pass filter, consists of two components, capacitor C1 and resistance R1, and other circuit is low pass filter which consists of resistance RF in parallel with capacitor CF. So this high pass filter and this low pass filter in cascade is equal to a band pass filter. Now again we will take this equation. Now we assume this frequency f1 is equal to f2 is equal to fb. That means 1 upon 2 pi r1 c1 is equal to 1 upon 2 pi rf into cf. So from this equation we will get R1 C1 is equal to RF into CF. That means we can take FB is equal to 1 upon 2 pi R1 into C1. Okay, so when we put R1 C1 is equal to RF CF in this equation of gain becomes minus of S into RF C1 whole divided by 1 plus S into R1 C1 whole square. Now to find out the frequency response when both the frequencies are equal, we'll put S is equal to j omega in this equation. Then we'll get gain will be equal to minus of j omega RF into C1 whole divided by 1 plus j omega R1 C1 whole square. Now we find out the magnitude. Magnitude of gain will be equal to omega into RF C1 whole divided by 1 plus omega R1 C1 whole square. Now we put omega is equal to 2 pi f in this equation. We will get magnitude of gain is equal to 2 pi f RF C1 divided by 1 plus 2 pi f R1 C1 square. This is the equation of magnitude of gain we are getting when both the corner frequencies are equal to one value, that is FB. Now we define one frequency FA. FA is equal to 1 upon 2 pi RF into C1, and another frequency FB is equal to 1 upon 2 pi R1 into C1. When we put these values here, we will get magnitude of gain is equal to F upon FA divided by 1 plus F upon FB whole square. At F is equal to 0, the magnitude of gain will be equal to 0, and at F is equal to FA is equal to 1 upon 2 pi R1 CF. When we put this value here in place of frequency F, we will get the magnitude of gain is approximately equal to 1. That means at frequency FA, the magnitude of gain becomes 1. So this is called as unity gain frequency of the improved practical differentiator. And at F is equal to FB is equal to 1 upon 2 pi R1 C1. The magnitude of gain will be equal to RF upon R1 divided by 2. Okay, now using this value we can draw the frequency response of the improved practical differentiator when both the corner frequencies F1 and F2 are equal to single frequency FB. So this is the magnitude or frequency response of the improved practical differentiator when F1 is equal to F2 is equal to FB. So here we have represented frequency in hertz in the x-axis and gain in the y-axis, which is the magnitude of gain. So here we can see that when frequency F is equal to 0, the magnitude of gain is equal to 0, and at a frequency F is equal to FA, the magnitude of gain is equal to 1, and at frequency F1 is equal to F2 is equal to FB, the magnitude of gain is equal to RF upon R1 divided by 2. Okay, so the maximum value of gain will be RF upon R1 divided by 2. This is the equation of the gain when frequency F1 is equal to F2 is equal to FB we are taking. Then here we can see that the initial slope of the line because of this 0 at S is equal to 0 will be plus 20 dB per decade. So the slope of this line will be plus 20 dB per decade. We have two poles. Now because of this S square in the denominator, we have minus 40 dB per decade slope, and when we add this plus 20 dB with this minus 40 dB, we will get minus 20 dB per decade. So next slope after this plus 20 dB per decade will be minus 20 dB per decade. Okay, so this is the frequency response of the improved practical differentiator. Last is applications of differentiator. It is used in the rate of change detectors, then it is used in the frequency modulators, it is also used in analog computers, it is used in the wave shaping circuits, and it is also used in the PID controllers. So hope you have understood the topic. Thank you very much for watching, and please do subscribe my channel for more updates.